watching the news with me, Kavita Krishnan. We got lots lined up for you on this bulletin, but first, let's take a quick look at the headlines on the news.
The demonetization has proved to be an unmitigated disaster. That a badly conceived and poorly implemented GST has played havoc with businesses and sunk many of them.
After Yashwant Sinha attacks the centre's economic report, former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram hits out at the NDA government, calls demonetization an unmitigated disaster, says that GST was poorly implemented. Petrol and diesel likely to be delivered to you at home now. Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan says fuel will be sold via e-commerce for home delivery. Bengaluru civic body, the BBMP, under the scanner of the Anti-Corruption Bureau, disappropriation of funds in Solid Waste Management Department comes to light. Inquiry against top Maharashtra bureaucrat delayed. Special investigation team probing the graft charges against Radheshyam Mopalwar holds their first meeting 28 days too late. September 30th deadline for completing the probe is likely to be missed. They lathi-charged students for demanding security in campus, but while the Banaras Hindu University burnt, the police was busy doing stand-up comedy. Is law and order a joke for these policemen? Bengaluru is our top focus this hour. The city's civic body, the BBMP, has come under the scanner of the Anti-Corruption Bureau after misappropriation of funds in the Solid Waste Management Department has come to light. Now, my colleague Shrija gets us more details.
The money allocated by the BBMP for the solid waste management in Bengaluru has gone literally down the drain. A scam of a huge magnitude, that is of rupees 934 crores, has been reported within the BBMP. In fact, we're given to understand it was Karnataka State Commission ex-president Narayan who had flagged this off last year in the year 2016 in November, where he had in fact intimated the Home Department when G. Parameshwara was the Home Minister. He had given a detailed report saying that there were only 18,000 Paura Karmikas, and the rest, that is, which according to BBMP website, which showcases that there are 32,000 in fact conservancy workers cleaning the city streets. But however, in real, we are given to understand that there are only 18,000, and the rest of the 13,000 are ghost Paura Karmikas. Now, where did the money exactly go is the question that Narayan had raised with the Home Department, but finally it was transferred from the Home Department later to in fact the Urban Development Department, who had then transferred the case, had sought a CID inquiry into this. But in the meantime, we understand that Narayan had filed a complaint with the Alsur police station, who had then intimated the CID to look into the issue. But however, we give it to understand that now this entire scam has now been reported and handed over to the Anti-Corruption Bureau. Now, clearly, we do understand the entire scam of 934 crores. Remember that over the last couple of months, Mirror now has been reporting how the contract workers have been sitting on an indefinite strike. Now, the reason behind this is the contractors, who are the mediators between the government and the Paura Karmikas, have been siphoning off the money. In Bengaluru, Shrija for Mirror Now.
This is an allegation that 900 crores might have been swindled in this. So exactly when you know, only will know that only when ACB comes out and says that such a large figure, 900 crores is, I don't know. I mean, that has to be inquired into an agency. Okay. Only will be able to tell us that whether such a large amount of thing has happened also. In this, if officers are involved, they will definitely face action. Definitely, they will face action. Safai Karmachari took out a suo moto, investigation by themselves, and they have, based on their report, the government passed an order, and government is getting it done. So we will verify exactly what has happened, and once that happens, the clear picture will come. Well, ma'am, after I have taken over, all the contractors are regularly paying the ESI, PF, and the statements are being produced to this one. There is no laxity on the part of this one. And also what has happened is now the question of ghost workers being is very chances are very less because we have given a micro plan. They are all working as per the micro plan. All the contractors are working as per the micro plan. So them doing any mischief there, it does not arise.
The BBMP and the state government, not just one party, all parties, all the three principal parties, Congress, BJP and JDS are hand in glove with this. There is absolutely no doubt in anybody's mind as to that. If there was no involvement of all these three parties, a scam of such magnitude could not have happened. It is a
Sridhar Pabishetty of the Namma Bengaluru Foundation now joins me with his perspective. Sridhar, another scam, this time in garbage, reported from Bengaluru, and it is a humongous sum. We are talking of 934 crores, which is in fact much more than the money set aside by the BBMP in its budget to take care or to handle solid waste management. The BBMP had set aside 898 odd crore rupees for solid waste management.
This scam does not surprise me at all. If you look at on-ground reality of what is wrong with the BBMP affairs in terms of garbage management is concerned, even the basics are not done yet. We don't know how many Paura Karmikas are on rolls. We don't know what is the disposal schedule and the micro plan for each ward, and we keep getting fooled around in various citizen blaming of saying that they are not segregating. But the real problem is somewhere else, and the scam exposes exactly the same thing. The garbage mismanagement in Bangalore is what got us the garbage city tag away from our garden city tag. Now, this is a awakening point for anybody who's in love of the city of Bengaluru to get our act of garbage management right. There should be transparency in terms of awarding of contracts, in terms of how the management happens of day-to-day operations. How many Paura Karmikas turn up? Where are the vehicles going? Why can't they be monitored through GPSs? And these are simple things that will assure citizens telling that where is my garbage going, how much is getting segregated, and how is it being managed. Without these checks and balances in place, Bangalore will continue to be a sitting duck for the garbage mafia and the vested interests who are ruining the city of Bengaluru.
Right, Sridhar, let's take a step back. Now, 10% of the city budget, the civic budget being set aside only to manage garbage is a huge amount that we are really talking about. We know that Bengaluru has a huge garbage problem on its hands, but just give us a sense of, now one hears of cartels that actually operate as far as the garbage collection and the disposal is concerned. You've been working with the BBMP or a civic activist. Give us a sense of what really happens.
See, the point, the real hand-in-gloveness of the cartels with the local ward corporator and the rest of the officials is very evident with this, where you don't have even simple numbers at the ward level available of the garbage generated, the garbage transported. You know, in the past, there have been instances where two-wheelers were supposed to have taken garbage from the ward and disposed at the disposal site. So that is the extent of scam. The hand-in-glove of any vehicle registration number can pass off as being capable of taking 4,000 tons or 5,000 tons of garbage. Now, this is a colossal failure unless we open it up and we show every rupee spent, every kg of garbage collected, why it is not segregated at source, why is it not segregated at the ward level, and why are you not disposing it. If you look at it, the whole garbage management cost will significantly come down if we compose the wet waste within the ward, right? The rest of the one is where you should recycle and send it to the landfill. This basic principle has not yet been affected, and you know for all the wrong reasons that this has not been done, and this exposure is only a tip of the iceberg.
Right. The scam, which is worth over around 1,000 crores, like Sridhar is pointing out, is probably just the tip of the iceberg. Remember, Bengaluru has a humongous budget for solid waste management. 10% of the civic budget is set aside to manage garbage in this city, which ironically ranks at 210 on 434 in the National Cleanliness Index. Time now to take a look at the latest coming in from across the rest of the nation. Gangster turned politician Pappu Yadav was stopped by the police from entering the BHU campus. His supporters took to the road to create a ruckus following the police's intervention. As a result of this chaos, an ambulance was forced to wait for over 20 minutes.
कैंपस के पॉलिटिक्स को मेन स्ट्रीम पॉलिटिक्स में क्यों लेके जा रहे हैं आप लोग? ये पॉलिटिशियंस बार-बार आ रहे हैं, कांग्रेस आई, समाजवादी पार्टी आई, जहाँ पा रहे हैं, तो ऐसा नहीं लगता कि कैंपस की पॉलिटिक्स को बच्चों पर छोड़ देना चाहिए?
मैं आपसे एक बात पूछना चाहता हूँ कि निर्भया बलात्कार केस, रेयान इंटरनेशनल का प्रदुमन, हिंदुस्तान के इतिहास में बेटी पढ़ाओ बेटी बचाओ, जब भी कोई महाभारत और धर्म युद्ध हुआ है तो हिंदुस्तान की मर्यादाओं के कारण।
Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan says petrol and diesel will be sold via e-commerce for home delivery.
क्या हम इसको आपकी आईटी और मोबाइल प्लेटफॉर्म पे जोड़ सकते हैं? जोड़ने से फायदा सभी को है। आपकी व्यवसाय बढ़ेगा, आपकी 3 लाख करोड़ की व्यवसाय शायद 4 लाख करोड़ हो सकता है। शायद गूगल ने भी कहा कि भारत की टॉप नॉच की विद्यार्थी नौकरी करना नहीं चाहते हैं, इनोवेशन में जाना चाहते हैं। अभी हम लोगों ने तय किया और हमने संबंधित विभागों से भी अनुमति ले लिया है। हम सारे पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट को ई कॉमर्स की प्लेटफॉर्म पे रखेंगे।
2 people died while 2 others were injured in Visakhapatnam after a mishap occurred with a crane. The incident occurred at the Gangavaram port after the cable of the crane gave way while iron columns were being unloaded from cargo. Cattle smugglers reportedly fired on women who chased them on the outskirts of Gurugram. An NRI along with a friend were on their way home. They spotted a pickup truck on the Sona road which had cattle. The two claimed that the rear tires of the truck were deflated. Their car was allegedly fired upon by assailants, but they managed to escape. Priest Biju Narayanan was stabbed at home by unknown persons in the early hours on Wednesday. He had been hospitalized with grievous injuries. Biju Narayanan had earlier come under attack in June when some miscreants threw acid at him while he was on his way to the temple. Biju had received death threats after he planned to conduct a Mahayagna with scheduled caste priests. Time for a quick break, but stay with us for more news and updates. Well, Mirror Now has been saying this all along, and now senior leaders from the ruling party are voicing their concerns. Senior leader and former Finance Minister Yashwant Sinha made some scathing observations in a column in the Indian Express. In his multi-pronged attack, he says that the Indian economy is in pain after multiple failures and asks the government if it has a magic wand to undo the damage. Seconding his opinion is another finance minister, this time from the Congress party. P. Chidambaram has also raised some questions. Listen in.
Mr. Yashwant Sinha is therefore absolutely correct when he writes that, quote, instilling fear in the minds of the people is the name of the new game, unquote. The Congress party has assiduously exposed the many weaknesses in the economy and the terrible mismanagement of the economy. We are happy that Mr. Yashwant Sinha has echoed our criticism. He's spot on when he says that the BJP NDA government got an unprecedented oil bonanza that was wasted, that private investment has shrunk as never before in 2 decades, that industrial production is all but collapsed, that exports have dwindled, that demonetization has proved to be an unmitigated disaster, that a badly conceived and poorly implemented GST has played havoc with businesses and sunk many of them, that countless millions have lost their jobs with hardly any new opportunities coming the way of the new entrants to the labour market, and that the growth rate of 5.7% is actually 3.7% or less. I wish to remind you and the people of the country that the Congress Party has, for nearly 18 months, highlighted these very grave weaknesses in the economy. We were told, in effect, to shut up. We were the first to speak up. We did not shut up, and we shall not shut up. In the last monsoon session, we wanted to raise a debate on the flawed implementation of GST and the state of the economy, but the government made sure that the debate was not allowed. The Congress Party will continue to speak loudly and boldly on the disastrous path on which the country is being taken by the BJP government. I ask, how long will the government hide behind the rhetoric of the Prime Minister and the slogans of the party? It is a small mercy that we no longer hear the slogan, Achhe din aane wale hain. As I travel around the country, what I hear is, Achhe din to aaye nahi, bure din kab jayenge.
Yashwant Sinha's criticism of the economy and the alleged downward spiral that the economy is witnessing has found resonance with yet another former finance minister, P. Chidambaram. But interestingly, both the finance ministers, one from the NDA, one from the UPA, both coming on record to cite their displeasure at the manner in which the economy has been handled. They made some allegations about the manner in which the economy continues to be, and also expressed little hope that situation is going to improve in the foreseeable future. Now, these pertinent issues, be that the GST implementation, the fuel price hike, or even the impact of demonetizations, are pertinent burning questions that have been constantly debated on Mirror Now for months now.
But the government was quick to defend its stance, saying that the entire world acknowledges that India is one of the fastest growing economies.
देश की अर्थव्यवस्था का जहां तक संबंध है, सारी दुनिया इस सच्चाई को स्वीकार करती है कि भारत पूरे वर्ल्ड की एक फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग इकोनॉमी है, और इस सच्चाई को किसी को भूलना नहीं चाहिए। और आर्थिक मामलों में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय जगत में भारत की एक साख बनी है। इसकी क्रेडिबिलिटी स्टैब्लिश हुई है इंटरनेशनल कम्युनिटी में भारत की।
Moving beyond politicians, what is it that the common man really has to say? Our reporters in Delhi spoke to a few voters, and this is what they told us about inflation.
एम्प्लॉयमेंट के कारण ही तो इतना ये हो रहा है। आप सरकार होकर के आप लोगों को रोजगार दे नहीं रहे हैं, जबकि ये सरकार से लोग को बहुत उम्मीद थी कि चलो भाई महंगाई घटेगी, है ना, लोगों को रोजगार मिलेगा। आज इतना फ्रॉड हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, सब क्या है, किसका परिणाम है?
महंगाई तो अब आप देख रहे हैं, रोज पेट्रोल के दाम बड़े मजे से बढ़ा रहे हैं वो, और किसी को पता भी नहीं लगने देते। और अब क्या क्या कह सकते हैं?
टैक्स एवरीबॉडी इज पेइंग। इनफैक्ट इफ आई टेक अ टॉफी आई एम पेइंग अ टैक्स, है ना। मैं अगर कहीं कुछ भी खा रहा हूँ, चाय पी रहा हूँ, टैक्स दे ही रहा हूँ, है ना। सिगरेट पी रहा हूँ, टैक्स पे ही कर रहा हूँ। एक्चुअली टैक्स बहुत ज्यादा है, इट्स टू मच।
Meanwhile, the opposition has used this opportunity to launch a fierce attack on the NDA government, with Rahul Gandhi leading the charge.
बीजेपी के सीनियर नेता उन्होंने लिखा कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने, अरुण जेटली जी ने हिंदुस्तान की इकोनॉमी को नष्ट कर दिया है, खत्म कर दिया है।
Definitely, Mr. Yashwant Sinha is a former finance minister. He knows how economy works, particularly whenever BJP is in power, how economy works. He knows. But it is not Mr. Yashwant Sinha alone. All the economists in the country, whether they belong to right or left or center, everybody has acknowledged there is economic slowdown. Demonetization has not helped. GST has added to the problems, burdens, and there is economic slowdown, no job creation, there is no growth of jobs, creation of jobs, there is no growth of economy.
Whatever he has said in that article is completely true. But I don't know why did he stop at not blaming the Prime Minister himself. Because it is the Prime Minister who's leading this government. And secondly, not only Mr. Yashwant Sinha, but even Mr. Subramanian Swamy has said that the economy is heading towards depression. Then you have this, one of the core supporters of RSS, Guru Murthy, also criticizing that the economy is going to sink. And so it's not Mr. Yashwant Sinha himself, but whatever he has said is true. And it is the responsibility now lies with the Prime Minister himself, that because of his wrong policies, the economy is going down, and you have all private sector important people saying that the economy is doing very bad, the private sector cannot grow in next 2 years, the construction industry is down, exports, the government does not have money to pay 65,000 crores back to exporters. Despite low oil prices, the government has increased central excise duties. So every sphere of economic activity is in doldrums.
Moving on, there seems to be just no safety for children in schools. Now, barely days after a 7-year-old was murdered in a school in Gurugram, another shocking case has come to light from Kanpur. A 14-year-old boy was thrashed by his teacher with a wooden duster for talking in class. The child's hand has been fractured and a complaint has been registered with the police.
मैं स्टेपिंग स्टोन इंटरमीडिएट कॉलेज जत्तानानगर में पढ़ता हूँ। मैं कक्षा 8 में पढ़ता हूँ। मेरी क्लास टीचर जो है उन्होंने मेरे से बोला था कि मेरे से नहीं सारे बच्चों से बोला था कि कोई भी संस्कृत के पीरियड में बात नहीं करेगा। तो लगभग सारे बच्चे संस्कृत के पीरियड में बात कर रहे थे। तो जो बात कर रहे थे उनका उन्होंने बोला था जो बात करे उनका नाम लिख लेना। तो एक बच्चे ने उनका नाम लिख लिया, सबका नोट कर लिया। और उसके बाद जब संस्कृत का पीरियड खत्म हो गया, जब एमएससी वाली मैम का पीरियड आया, एमएससी वाली मैम आई, वो डेली आती हैं, कहती हैं लिस्ट लाओ। उनका नाम है निधि। वो आती हैं डेली, कहती हैं जो बच्चा नाम नोट करता है उससे कहती हैं लिस्ट लाओ, हम वो क्या बोलते हैं इन लोगों को बताते हैं भी। तो उसने लिस्ट पकड़ा दिया। तो मेरे से पहले 1-2 बच्चों को मारा, फिर मेरे को बुलाया। तो मैंने कहा मैं कल गिर गया था तो हल्की सी चोट लगी, मैम इसमें ना मारिए, अगर आपको मारना है तो इस हाथ में मार लीजिए। तो उन्होंने इसी हाथ को मोड़ते हुए मेरा हाथ पूरा मोड़ दिया और उस पर डस्टर पलटा के मारा, जिस साइड लकड़ी का साइड होता है उसी से मारा।
बच्चे को पीटने का मामला प्रकाश में आया है। इस संबंध में तहरीर आई हुई है, जांच कर इसमें उचित कार्रवाई की जाएगी। अभी तक मेरे पास तो ऐसा आया नहीं है, लेकिन अगर आता है तो उस संबंध में उसकी भी जांच की जाएगी।
Amir now joins me with more details on the case. Amir, another day, another story of horror coming out of our schools.
Well, yes, absolutely. Another appalling and very deplorable case emerging from a private school in Kanpur this time. Although on a number of occasions over the last 1 month or so, especially after what played out in the Ryan International School in Gurgaon, there has been an increased vigil in all such private schools as far as safety and security of children is concerned. But then definitely such kind of news emanating from a private school is definitely very, very worrisome. In this particular case, in fact, the boy was the student of this private school in Kanpur was found talking, and therefore the teacher found it fit to punish him. But the use of wooden dusters in beating the child was definitely something that will actually, it seems, land the teacher into problems, because initially when she was confronted with allegations of beating this child with a wooden duster, the teacher actually denied it. But then later on, when the police complaint was made and the police accessed the CCTV footage from the classroom, it became absolutely clear that the teacher, in fact, did punish the child in a very, very wrong manner. And that's what caused the fracture in his hand. That is also quite apparent with the CCTV visuals. So as of now, a complaint has been lodged with the police. The police is conducting a preliminary inquiry. once it reaches a conclusion that the teacher actually was involved into this this kind of a beating, this kind of a punishment to the child, then a case will actually be registered against her, and then the police will go ahead and prosecute her.
Right, Amir, thank you for getting us all of those details. Horrific story coming out of yet another school. A teacher has beaten up a student with a duster, and she's beaten him so badly that he's broken his hand. And that's a wrap on the news. Do stay tuned to Mirror now. Big story coming up next.